Welcome to Seize the Mains by Raj Malhotra's IS Academy. I am Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of our daily answer writing initiative. This initiative runs in coordination with our website, which is rajisacademy.com. Here on our website, in the mains answer writing section, you will see a list of questions and you can send your mains answers to any one of them according to the details. Click a picture of your answer and post it in the comment section, or you can type your answer and our team will evaluate them in the next 48 hours entirely free of cost. The topic for today is neglected tropical diseases. The question with regards to this topic is, what are NTDs or neglected tropical diseases? Briefly discuss the initiatives by the Indian government in fighting the neglected tropical diseases in the country. Answer in 150 words. So if you look at this question closely, what is the basic structure of our answer? We start with an introduction which takes like 3 to 5 lines. Then we write a linkage point that makes your 6th line. And with the linkage point, we introduce our body paragraph 1, then body paragraph 2, and we sum up with the conclusion. In the body paragraphs, we see that if we can use some flowcharts here, or some pie charts, or we can use some diagrams, especially if this is a geography or disaster management answer. So if these 3 approaches can be used, well and good, but let's right now focus on the introductory paragraph. What are neglected tropical diseases? So the definition has directly been asked from you. The introduction clue has already been given. You need to talk about neglected tropical diseases, but with the definition itself your answer will not end. You will have to elaborate it, especially when you talk about international diseases. Make sure that you are writing about the role of World Health Organization, WHO की कोई भी report, any data that WHO has come up with regards to that particular disease. So in the introduction, let's see that NTDs are a diverse group of communicable diseases that are common in tropical and subtropical conditions in 149 countries. That's why the name NTD or tropical diseases has been given to them. These are most common amongst marginalized communities in the developing regions of Africa, Asia and the Americas. Now, talking about the societal part of a disease is very important. So what parts of society do they impact? The vulnerable communities or marginalized communities. Now we'll talk about some data also here, because your introduction has to be strong. So NTDs threaten more than 1.7 billion people living in the poorest and most marginalized communities worldwide. So this data is very important. Not exactly, but approximate data should be clear to you. The epidemiology of NTDs is complex and often related to environmental conditions. That's why they are mostly prevalent in tropical and subtropical areas. Now, how are they spread? ये spread कैसे होता है? So they say that many of them are vector-borne. They have animal reservoirs. Animals से spread होते हैं and are associated with complex life cycle, because they are associated with complex life cycles. For example, malaria. So they cannot be handled with normal medicines and they cannot be eradicated completely until unless they are addressed as a public health concern by the government through a lot of budgetary support and through very enthusiastic initiatives. So all these factors make their public health control challenging because they have complex life cycles, they are vector-borne, they are communicable, they have animal reservoirs. So these are caused by a variety of pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, protozoa and parasitic worms. So if you see such question in prelims also, they can be caused by any of these microbes or parasitic worms. And the important part here is that they are preventable and treatable. जब आप ये line लिख देंगे, when you write about this line, then your doors to body paragraph can open. Since they are preventable and treatable, then you can say that the following initiatives have been taken by Government of India to prevent them or to treat them. But before that, in the linkage point, highlight some WHO data with regards to India, because we'll be talking about initiatives in India. So highlight the data with regards to India, that as per WHO data, India ranks on top in the number of cases on many major NTDs in the world. India carries the largest burden of at least 11 of these diseases all over the world, with parasitic illnesses like Kala Azar, lymphatic filariasis, and malaria also, and affecting millions of people throughout the country, often the poorest and most vulnerable, and the following initiatives have been taken by the Government of India. So this topic was taken in detail by me in the weekly current affairs session for environment and science and tech. There we have discussed all the points in detail. Here we'll briefly highlight what has been talked about. So for lymphatic filariasis, you have this accelerated plan which was launched in 2018 as part of intensifying efforts towards elimination of NTDs. Then you have this WHO supported regional alliance between 3 countries established in 2005. Nepal, India and Bangladesh are partners to it, to expedite or to increase the speed and efficiency of early diagnosis and treatment of the most vulnerable population, so that disease can be tackled at the root itself, जब आप vulnerable population में increased diagnosis and treatment करते हैं. Then you have National Rabies Control Program, under which stray dogs are vaccinated for rabies. Then you have National Vector-borne Disease Control Program. Your malaria is covered in this, your dengue, chikungunya, which are seasonal diseases, India has to deal with them every year. All these are covered under National Vector-borne Disease Control Program. Other diseases are filariasis, kala azar, Japanese encephalitis, etc. Then the very important one with regards to leprosy, you know, it was one of the causes for seeking divorces also for the longest possible time. So leprosy was a cause of concern for India. Mother Teresa worked in for the cause of leprosy patients. So leprosy eradication program runs separately in the country. At least 82% cases have been brought down. Leprosy has been eliminated in 82% of the cities and districts of the country thanks to this National Leprosy Eradication Program, and as of now it is not a public health concern anymore because it is treatable. Then under national health policy, there is budgetary allocation envisaged to research and development of new types of medicines and to make them affordable to the public at large. Then you have national policy on treatment of rare diseases. To treat any rare disease, you need to identify a rare disease first. So this runs in coordination with all the above initiatives, that whatever disease starts spreading, any rare disease which can become a public health concern, identifying first step and researching on it to prevent its further infection, that is carried out. So these were some initiatives which should be remembered by you when we talk about neglected tropical diseases. When you study health as a topic in your GS syllabus, then these topics are definitely covered. In the conclusion, now you have to take a very different approach, because yes, we are dealing with NTDs efficiently also, but still we suffered malaria, dengue, chikungunya on an annual basis. Our country grapples with it. Recently, a data came up with regards to snake bites, that more than 80% of snake bites of the world, more than 80% of deaths of the world due to snake bites occur in India every year. So that is 64,000, more than 64,000 out of 80,000 deaths on an annual basis, which is a very a very bad situation for the country, and that data does not represent India in a good light. So since you've talked about initiatives, appreciate the initiatives at conclusion में अपने initiatives को appreciate कीजिए. Also bring the attention of the examiner towards the end of this answer to this NTD called snake bites. Then you can then your answer will become relatable to current affairs and you will get more marks. Make sure that you don't end it up on a negative note, that though government is doing a lot but nothing is happening. Don't do that. Just give that as a new example, snake bite as a new topic that needs to be worked upon. So such diseases pose a major public health concern and deteriorate the reputation of the country. This line is very important. Although India has eradicated infectious trachoma and chronic diseases like yaws from the country, and leprosy has ceased to be a public health concern as we studied in the previous slide, and mass treatment coverage has also been achieved for people susceptible to filaria, but there are many other diseases which need to be tackled. Recently, it was identified that over 80% of the global deaths due to snake bites occur in India alone every year. So since you've brought this data, you've also appreciated the initiatives of the government talked about in body paragraph. Then you have brought this data in one line. In the second line, we'll suggest a way forward, so that will become a very intelligent conclusion. So the government's progress in controlling many NTDs has been remarkable. However, it's high time that we handled incidents of snake bites, and as suggested by experts, now you cannot give a direct suggestion that bring out a national strategy to deal with snake bites. You cannot give a direct suggestion as a civil services aspirant, at least we don't recommend that. So say that as suggested by experts, comprehensive national strategy focusing on human-animal conflict, this is one of the prime reasons for snake bites, would be a positive step in this regard. So again, you have given a way forward also, you have linked your answer with current affairs also, and you have talked about the initiatives also. So this is a complete answer. It does not have any loopholes, it does not have anything that will get you lesser marks than your fellow aspirants. So this entire answer would be uploaded on our website tomorrow. By that time, or even later than that, if you're watching this video on the weekend or next month, go to our website rajayesacademy.com. The link is present in the description below. Write your own answer and post it on the website, and our team will evaluate it for you entirely free of cost. Stay tuned to our channel. I'll see you tomorrow with another discussion.